life could have taken such a big turn. I don't know who my people were. I could be the result of rape, gang members, and I could have been a whole different person.
Right. Craig, you are Jamaican?
Yes, I'm Jamaican.
Carlene, what nationality are you?
I'm a Guyanese.
You're a Guyanese.
The identity crisis is no longer there.
Yes. Your own.
Because what I wanted to do was start my own line.
Yeah.
And now for our featured presentation.
Hi everyone, welcome to another
Conversation with Elise. We are so happy and delighted, guys, that you have come on board. We want to say welcome to all you, our new subscribers. We are so excited that you have come on board the family. And today we have another video for you. We know you have been watching the last video we posted in the series
Marriage Works.
Yes, and that you guys are loving it. And tonight or today we have another one for you, and it is our good friends
Craig and Carlene Williamson.
Craig and Carlene Williamson. He's a son of the late consulate to Uruguay. They will be here sharing their story, he and Carlene. And guys, this is like a Caribbean connection, right? And we won't tell you why, but when you watch it to the end, and you'll see all that we're going to be talking about. So again, we want to encourage you to
Like,
share,
and subscribe.
Tell a friend to tell a friend, and stick and stay. This is Conversation with Elise, where it gets godly conversation, things to smile about, things to be happy about. And as we always say, life can be short, so the best way to live it through Christ, and have fun at the same time. Stay tuned. So again, guys, we just want to say a big thank you to Craig and Carlene, good friends of ours. We really appreciate you guys. So we're going to start off very easy. Just tell us a little bit about yourselves. When is the first or in
No comment.
All right, my name is Craig Williamson. I am 39 years old. I'm married.
Yes.
I work at a call center called HGS. We've been married for 9 years now.
Yeah. Going in 9 years.
Yeah.
All right, Carlene.
I'm Carlene Williamson. I'm a practical nurse. And one thing I like is that I like to grow things. I grow my own food.
Mm-hmm. Nice. All right, so you basically answered the second question, which is how long you have been married, which is 9 years.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll have Michelle answer this question. Whoa, before that. Before the next question. In your intro though, you told us who you were. Craig, you are Jamaican?
Yes, I'm Jamaican.
Carlene, what nationality are you?
I'm a Guyanese.
You're a Guyanese?
Yes.
Excellent. So, it's a good segue to the next question now. Go, Michelle.
Carlene, so how did you both meet or met?
All right, so one day I was coming from the beach. I was in halfway tree, about to go get a taxi. But it was a little frustrating, I couldn't get one. So I went over to transport center to get a bus. And it was still a little frustrating. So I left transport center, try again to go get a taxi and didn't. So when I came back to transport center, that's where we met. So we met in halfway tree at transport center.
All right. So Craig, what was it that made? Because you were the one who approached it, right?
Yeah.
What was it that you saw that says this? I'm going to approach this young lady.
All right, so I give a little bit of back history. So
right.
Basically, the kind of women that I've had in my life were basically kind of you can't say brawling out there.
Yes.
Free spirited, free speech, just out there, not just uninhibited as a person.
Yes.
So I realized that those kind of women come with a lot of baggage, a lot of issues, a lot of bent up daddy issues that they don't really sort out.
Yeah.
So I kind of basically said to myself, all right, Craig, if you want something different, you have to look for something different.
Yes.
You have to change something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I said to myself, all right, I want a girl that's modest, honest, not as outspoken and, you know, kind of raunchy. Somebody that knows how to manage money, somebody that is a God-fearing person. And I was with somebody before, and when she and I broke up, I took her like a year off.
Yes.
And then I was just going to a get-together in Labyrinth Tavern.
Mm-hmm.
And downstairs in the bus park, I saw this chick
Yes.
walking towards me. So it was like a this situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I am walking and she's walking past. And I look in my mind while she's walking past, I'm looking at her from head to toe. I'm saying, all right, this girl looks good.
Yes.
All right, she looks cute. All right, she don't look like the regular.
For the old one.
Yeah, she looks like the regular Jamaican girl who just, you know, want to be seen and all of that. And I said, all right, cool. But I never said anything to her at that point.
Yes.
I don't ever say anything at that point. No.
No, I think
I just walk past her.
yeah, and then when I went to sit down, then we sit down and started talking, and then
So you found a seat.
yes,
No, actually,
And Craig stalked you.
no. So actually, I was sitting down waiting on the bus to go to Stony Hill,
and I was there.
and then she was walking.
Oh,
she
so you
came
didn't
back.
drive at that time?
No, I wasn't driving.
yeah.
So she came back in the same direction. So I kind of indicated to her to sit down beside me. So I kind of moved. Yeah, I pointed on the chair beside me, looked at my finger, looked on the chair, and looked in her eyes, and she sat down. Yeah.
So Carly, you never consider this man could be a weirdo?
No, because he didn't look like a weirdo.
Right.
I needed a seat. The bus wasn't coming, so I just decided to sit down and, you know.
Maybe behavior fit his personal looks.
No, I know Craig, but I'm not saying for the first set, the walk past, and then, you know, him like, let me see.
It's like what?
What I realize is that women love confidence in men and
I think so too, yeah.
All right, so there's a little history here, guys, that we want to unfold also, wherein Carlene and Michelle met prior to Craig's meeting.
Pre-university.
Yes.
We met in pre-university.
But that would have been, I think I had met Michelle 2 or 3 years
before.
Yes.
All right. So here what now? So tell us. We're going back to Craig's situation, Craig and the meeting there. But tell us about that meeting with you and Carlene.
I'm trying to. How did
the first time we met, we were at pre-university. No, we were at theological college.
No, we used to go to that computer class.
Yeah, we used to go to computer
standby.
Yes.
Yes, that's where we met.
Wow.
And then we started going to pre-university.
Pre-university, yes.
So so that's long because I never met Craig that time. Because I used to live in Mona. And Michelle used to be walking to go get Jordan.
To Jordan at Mona. Trouble.
Yes,
that's true.
Yeah.
And you used to carry your little cousin to school.
And my friend's school. Yeah.
Wow.
That's a long time.
That is good.
And then 7 November things.
I never know he was gonna ask me that today.
So the fact, so there's gonna be a little synchronization here, guys, and to how the thing will measure nicely. Watch this. So you guys met at the time, Carlene. You were because both of them are Christians too. Both of them are followers of Christ. Carlene, you were going to the church in Papi.
Yes, I was going to Mona Baptist.
Right.
Yeah,
at the
that's
time.
where I was a member at Mona Baptist.
Right. And so when you met Craig, what was the conversations you had at the time? Because I know that
how we met you, Craig, is through Carlene.
Yes.
Right. So before we so we're going to unravel everything like that. But to know the meeting in HWT, what was that first conversation?
Okay, so alright, so basically I just asked her I asked her name.
Yes.
Right? First thing I asked her name. Or I put my hand out and said my name was Craig and said her name was Carlene. So they know because I have Guyanese family members.
Yes.
I have my sister's previous marriage, he's from Guyana. And then my cousin is married to a Guyanese presently.
Yes.
So the language and the accent, and I'm a musician, so I pick up the language, the accent and everything. So I said, oh, so you're Guyanese? And so she said, yes. I said, okay. And I explained what I just explained to your family, Guyanese. And then asked her where she's going, and she going to a beach trip. I said, okay, cool.
Did she dress the part or she just had her bag and stuff?
Yeah,
She had
I just had my little bag.
Yeah.
the jeans, I think it was in jeans. And I just
Soft dress pants.
Yeah.
I remember that.
another good shirt, nothing big, nothing fancy.
So you exchanged numbers after that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right there. And I went to the beach trip. The Embo beach trip. I went to the get together in Laverne Tavern. It was a co-worker of mine.
Right.
And when I was there, it was great. The river, nice vibes. And there was this chick that was there.
Separate from?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, glory.
And guess what now? So the same chick that I told that I was kind of avoid, this kind of woman that I was trying to avoid,
Yes, yes.
she was that kind of girl.
Right.
Oh.
So, you know, I talked to her, vibes, everything, got her number the same night as well.
So Craig was a little player. But God. Go ahead, sir.
I did, I got her number. But I never called, to this day I don't call her.
Weren't meant to be.
I just called this one the same night.
So that first conversation on the phone was like forever?
No.
It
was a short conversation. It wasn't long, just for us to meet up somewhere.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Right, so after the conversations over the phone and so forth, where did in your mind, Craig, even from the first conversation, where did you see yourself like,
I'm gonna take another step with this journey?
Man. From the interaction, as I said, I'm kind of good with people and understanding personalities and everything. So coming from the fact that I said I don't want that kind of woman anymore, I saw the one that I wanted in her.
Right.
So I said, all right, cool. So this more look like up my alley, what I need. So in relationships, you have to realize a difference between what you need versus what you want.
Definitely.
That's very smart.
So, all right.
and I'm asking that other question because we're going to get to the other questions to other people. So what was how did bringing Carlene to mom and dad, what was that like? Because they knew what Carlene never knew, that you've been through other relationships and so forth. So, and did you ever bring anybody else to mom and dad?
Just one person.
Just one person. So, so you bring Carlene to mom and dad?
There's two actually.
That's
two, yeah.
All right. So and those did the work. So when you brought Carlene, what was mom and dad's response?
Well, my mother liked her, my father liked her a lot.
Instantaneously.
Because my mother has a similar personality.
Yeah.
Similar personality. You know, classic traditional woman, the kind of woman that our grandmother and great grandmother, that kind of personality. So, and my father is a lion type of personality. So he could see the gentleness in her and come on.
So I get it that they love and they accept her, but because you have brought person before, did they take you serious? Like, okay, it's just another girlfriend, or it's gonna be?
I don't know. At first, I'm not sure, but there was a situation where her stay was kind of in jeopardy in terms of where she was working at the time at Mustard Seed. So basically, her extension was up.
Yeah.
Right, extension was up. So
being Guyanese,
in Jamaica working, and the permit was up. So I was telling my father about the situation, and he basically kind of saw because he's an insurance man.
Right.
So top insurance salesman. So these people know people to the T.
Yes.
Human behavior, worse me, he know me
Yeah.
from birth. So he could see that I was afraid that she was gonna go back
Yes.
or be extradited or something like that. So he saw that the feelings that I had for her
was
really
real.
strong.
Beautiful.
Build some connections and
Well, my sister is a Queen's Counsel, so at the time she was assistant DPP.
Yeah.
So we went to her and kind of liaised with her and told her about the whole situation, and she kind of guided us through it and everything.
Excellent.
Yeah, when it's meant to be, the puzzle come together.
Excellent. So, tell us about the proposal. Tell us about when you made that proposal.
So, all right. So that was a interesting situation. I'm not easily embarrassed.
okay.
At all. I'm not easily flustered.
That is true, guys.
At all.
That is true.
But you know, I'm a traditional guy, so I have to go through the process.
Yeah.
So I called her father
Excellent.
a few weeks before. Right? She never knew that at the time. So I called him, talked to him,
Well done, man.
you know, and say, hey, you know, I like that. I really care about her and I want to take, you know, things to the next level.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, no problem. Okay, you know, I'll talk to you. She likes you. My mother-in-law talks to me and likes me and everything. And I don't have any problem.
Excellent.
He didn't give a fight. He didn't give a fight. With some of her sisters, with some of the guys that they have brought, he vocalized how he felt about the whole situation, saying no, I don't really.
Right.
But it wasn't like that with me.
That's beautiful.
Excellent.
You know? And so did that. Got the okay. And then we had dinner.
It was my birthday.
On her birthday. I went to a restaurant in Harvard Street around Tropical Plaza.
Yes.
And so
It's been a while.
yeah, man, no, man, I remember it like it was yesterday, man.
Nice.
And I think we were full black. We both were black, and
I had black.
And I bought a dozen roses.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And I still have one of those roses.
You dried it.
I dried it.
Excellent.
Beautiful. Sentiment. Good. Sentiment.
So, then I think I wrote out something, a little speech, but I said it out loud. I had written it down before, kind of putting it in my mind, you know. And then I said to her basically that I don't have much, you know.
Yes.
I don't have much, but I have a lot of love to give, and you know, I wonder if she could take this journey with me. You know, be my wife. I went down on my knee in the restaurant. They were there.
Excellent.
So it was a great night.
And she said yes.
It was a great
So
night.
here you are, 9 years later.
9 years later.
Yes.
9 years
Thanks be to
later.
Excellent.
God.
Excellent.
And 2 little ones.
And 2 little ones.
Yes.
What are your kids' name again? We know just for the first and family.
Gavin and Imani.
Excellent.
How was living together for the first 2 years?
Well, living together for the first 2 years was hard, especially for me, because before I met Craig, I used to live on my own. So I am accustomed to doing my thing my own way.
Yes.
So submission was hard for me.
Okay.
And because of that, we used to butt heads a lot. We butt heads a lot. But Craig wasn't the kind of person to get upset and to shout and to keep malice or anything like that.
Yes.
So what he would do in return is would say, love, this is not how you do this. There's a right and a wrong way to do things, you know? And little by little, I kind of just say, okay, I see where he's going. And when he's not there, I would just sit down and really look at it and say, boy, you know, my behavior wasn't right, or the way I approached it wasn't, you know. And then over time, as I learned how to deal with situations, it started to get easier and easier. Till a few days I was saying to him, you know, look at us. We have learned how to just mesh with each other. Is that, you know, little things don't really bother us. You know, we just decide to say, okay, this is how things work, and we just work with it. But the 2 years was hard for me.
It was hard. Craig?
Yeah, it was a little bit difficult at first, because again, I've been quote unquote on my own for quite a while. So where I was living, we had a big piece of property, and I had my own little spot to myself.
Yeah.
And my people had their own little place to themselves. So I was in my own space. So my space, bachelor, not a bachelor pad,
Yes.
I grew up, one could say, privileged in a sense.
Yeah.
Grew up with helpers. So a lot of things I didn't do until like I was like 17.
Yes.
So a lot of things I had to kind of learn how to do. And so it was a bit rough. And she coming from the background that she came from in Ghana. Young parents.
Yeah.
Right.
They were pretty young when they had her. So a lot of things they never really learned the structure of family in certain instances.
So
Hence the motive for
And I mean, for most marriages, that's the case. Because as we know, as Christians yourself, is that the Bible said, two shall come together and be one. Of course, we don't automatically know how to do it. But as marriage is like a school, so is it like you learn to be together. So I think it's just a process of what marriage is. But the key thing is that, you must learn how to exist as one. And that's where, you guys are doing. So it's a blessing. And he's trying to be modest about he was a little privileged. We used to live in their pool,
Yes. I work on the farm and
it's called little piece of land,
And the thing about it, what made it a little harder for Craig is that, I'm from a different culture, total opposites. Craig grew up way up there, so and I grew up down there, And the thing is, he's accustomed to having his place one way, and then here this woman come. Yes. He left to go out to work. When he come back, the entire house is completely different.
Yes.
No, nothing on the floor. Everything must be put away. So for the 2 years, it was hard for both of us. But as we grew, you know,
because I think that's the part I wanted to go into. Looking back on that time period, that 2 years that was rough, were there any thoughts of saying, I wonder if I should go back together? No. Or I wonder if, I should, there was nothing. Because the reason I asked the question, I'm not a young person getting married now, and as things get a little dicey, especially for the first 2 years, then one gone back to mommy, or one left, and you understand what I'm saying? So we want to ensure that person can understand, so listen, it happens to everybody, but if you persevere, because
The pressure is pressure and time. You must get where you need to go. You keep going. You go get adversity, you go have adversity here and there, but if you keep going, you got to push through it.
It's like a piece of gold.
So that brings us into the next question though. What is that one thing that annoys you or annoyed you
if there's any
about your spouse?
Alright, I'll go first. So basically, so the most
one of
the main things. Okay. So for example, food. Food. So when Carlene cooks, she cooks for everybody naturally.
Yes.
But the thing is now, when it comes to, for example, I'm working now. She's at home with the children, especially our son who is 2 years old. After COVID, just making sure he's ready to go into daycare so she can go back out to work. So, when she leaves, when I'm to get food, I'm the last person to come home, right? So, she don't share her food and put that aside and have her food ready.
Out
of the way. So, when I come home now, I have to now share food, so my food get less.
Listen.
That was then and this is now.
Give me some time for you.
I'm like, oh God.
So
I get it.
So has there been any adjustment because you don't said honey?
Slight adjustment.
So there's something to work on.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, that's smart. There's always something.
That is true. So Carly, what was that one thing?
Be honest now.
Alright, so one of my things that annoys me about Craig is that Craig is a late night muncher.
Oh, okay.
you would like to get up at night and say, oh, I'm frying an egg. I'm having bread and eggs.
Yes.
And I always say to him, love, once you get up at night and you eat something,
yes,
please clean up after yourself. I don't leave the dirty pot.
Yes.
I would get up next morning and I would see a frying pan. And from I see the frying pan,
you knew he was up.
I knew he was up doing something. So I would go to him the next morning and say, love, why did you clean up after yourself?
Yes.
And he would have this big smile.
Soften your heart.
You know, and then by the time you start talking and you soften up the heart, you completely forgot about it. And you know, but that's one of the things that...
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna answer this question, and it might have slightly answered before, but I wonder if you can get that specific thing or that specific moment that you knew she was the one, or you knew he was the one. That specific moment, or that thing that said, "This is it."
For me, it was. Which was the one? When I got that other chick's number. And I didn't call her back.
Yeah.
So one day turned to weeks.
Yes.
Weeks turned to months.
Yes.
Months turned to years.
Yes.
I haven't spoken to her.
Not one.
Not even one.
Excellent.
The love has changed
So,
the appetite. That's good.
You know, now, so as I say, this was your drug originally.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, you're that kind of person you've been with for over how much years, and then you get something different. The natural inclination would to still go back.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen.
Yeah, because I think people may look at it weird, but I think the soul recognizes what it needs. Like you said, versus what it wants. And that's why you're in life, you find some person say, oh, me, I will never get married. Another woman will make it. But there comes a particular time that not even he or she have that control when the inner recognize the one. You basically start to change without realizing it. And I think that's what real love is at the end of the day.
So Carly, what was that moment for you?
Well, one day we were on our date, and we usually, for us, was just going regular places, nothing fancy. And we were at that park in Halfway Tree, Mandela Park. Yeah, and we were there, we were sitting and we were talking about what we wanted out of life. And when I realized that both of us wanted the same things out of life, then I said, I went home to Miss Dawn and I said to her, you know, I was telling her what was happening. And she said, well, maybe this could be it. And then when he proposed the night, just before he proposed that night, he had a little bag, you know those strap bags that men carry? He had one and he asked me to pass it, to give it to him. And I'm saying to myself, he's gonna propose it.
Interesting.
So since then I kind of knew that this is what I wanted. He had all the values, the things that I was looking for. So
that's true.
I can remember, I don't know, years ago when it happened, they said, girl, I met someone and I think he's the one. And it's funny enough, because we're sitting there, I said, oh, you know, he's the one. I said, one of the things that I remember is saying that really touched you, he's a ladies' gentleman. And you can know versus when somebody is putting on an act versus when it's a genuineness of the person. That was one of the things.
And I can't even create over conversation with me about you between each other here. And I had to walk in a scare because what the picture also said was that the relationship you had with your mom was very eye-opening for her. Right? Like, whoa, this guy, you know, really has that family connection, and she, from her background, she know that tight knit thing was what you have is that she said, yeah, this guy I want to be around and thing. So before we go into the next question, Robert said we recall who's most likely to, and this is the fun part. All right, this is the fun part. So who is most likely to drop asleep after intimacy?
And I was hungry afterwards.
Finally, there's because go ahead. Basically, like like even our own surrounding, every time we have like this little thing in our marriage group thing, it's always the male. It's like they never take away the energy and the male was.
In fact, the last two interviews that we did on the same series, the both persons, that's Ray and Reynard, they admitted that they fell asleep.
And him to get energy and the intake is true.
Alright, yeah, the same line of question. Who is most likely to spend?
Oh yeah, that's good.
Spend.
Oh yeah, that question.
To spend.
To
Yeah.
spend, like when you have money,
You don't really need to buy something.
who's most likely to spend?
Come on.
I'm
So
the saver.
You're the same
So
one.
far as
But spend like how can Craig, like you don't really are like you just see something like that, this is for the family or I need for me. You know.
So it's usually a big mixture. So especially when I first started working where I'm working now, I like to quote unquote dress her up.
yeah,
Okay.
that's nice.
So I would
And again, she
buy,
have a physique.
yeah man, I would buy clothes, earrings,
Yes.
and then now I like colognes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd buy myself a cologne, buy her a cologne as well. Food, Burger King every now and then.
Yes.
Every now and then, you know.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
you basically the spender.
Yeah.
Like Michelle.
The next person is who is most likely to start a war.
An argument? Disagreement?
I had one in years. So I
But
don't even know.
who's not the one?
Oh my God.
I need to get that reverend.
Let's pray for her in Jesus' name.
In terms of starting one,
That could be something real.
We don't say start, you know, we don't mean,
It's fine.
I mean it is done, but like for example, if something
You don't
comes up,
willingly.
who's more like for example, when you put this here so, and it starts,
It may start.
Yeah. Sometimes if there's something that's bothering me,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily come out and say it.
Yeah,
he
that's my
would
problem.
see it on me and say, "Love, what's wrong? Everything alright?" And I'd say, "Yes, love, very love. It's really wrong." And then I would just come out and say
say
what
yeah.
it is. But I don't allow it to become an argument. We will just sit down
That's
and talk,
beautiful.
and
Yeah.
it just disappear like that. And you say, "See, when you get yourself for work."
Honestly, but in that case, you
But
guys
I'm
are
learning now,
able.
guys. Thank you so
yeah.
much. 22 years of marriage, and I'm gonna use your formula.
22 years?
Yeah, and
Sometimes, I think sometimes because we're similar, we're similar with certain things, like he was trying to get his point across, and then I'm trying to get my point across also. And sometimes we're saying the same thing, but sometimes,
perspective.
right. So it's as if, it's like, say for instance, we're able to do that well, and there's no argument for no like we're having a good period of time, and then another time, like, there's an argument. Did I think about a break?
why?
But I think we're at a place where talking about it afterwards, like we're saying the same thing, so it cannot continue this way.
Right.
You understand? Because when you look on it, sometimes we're saying, what would you really you understand? So it's good that you guys are able, and that is the thing with marriage. I realize the more we talk to person are able to control certain things that others are struggling with. But that's a good thing to know that, man, we think you win the devil already when you're that. So no, honestly, when you're able to.
So you say that arguments rarely happen, but when it does happen, how long it take to make up, and who normally initiates the makeup?
Well, if we have a disagreement, first we try our best not to have disagreement around children.
Yes, that's
we have it quietly in our room with a one and we trash out. And after we talk, when I realize that I might be at fault and what Craig is saying is right,
Yes.
then I'll kind of stay in my car and not say anything for a few minutes.
Yes.
And then he would say what he need to say. And then I just roll over and just start giving it a roll over. You know?
And that means I'm
And
sorry.
started to break down the barriers,
Right.
and then I would say, love, I'm sorry, I shouldn't, whatever. And we just break down like
That's
that.
the thing. So in the beginning, especially in the beginning, especially first of the morning, we kind of wouldn't really have, never really have arguments, right? Well, that disagreements back and forth. But I would always say, hey, I didn't grow up like this. I've only seen my mother argue and my father. I'm a disagreement twice. Whoa. That's twice. And I said, this is not what it's supposed to be. One, if your child see you and your parent arguing, it creates a lot of uncertainty in them. They think, oh, maybe mom don't love daddy, or there's a lot of doubts in the mind. And then the thing is with disagreements, it's not the thing is not to try and win the argument. Even a madman can teach you something. Right? So the thing is to receive. Yeah, the thing is to listen, to understand. Keep your point in your mind, but listen to understand where the other person is coming from. And when they don't talk, and then you have in your mind what you want to say, think about what she said or he said, then you know how to go about it. Yeah.
I want to have, because I'm learning. Cornell have always been saying that to me. I must not butt in when it's his time to talk, but I have a weakness. Come and say, oh, I don't remember what I want to say. Okay. But he said it perfectly. Keep the thing in your mind, and afterwards you're ready to solve. It's hard, but that's a good one.
Pray for her.
And what I like about Craig too is that if we're having a disagreement, he's not the kind of person who's shouting and arguing and cursing and making noise. Because everything is just on this low value like that. It don't ever escalate into anything else. So because of that, we have learned how to deal with anything that comes up. And this is why I said earlier that because of experience, we have mashed together so well, when we see something, you just know how to deal with it.
Excellent. So, next question, which I probably know the answer, but we'll still ask it. Who is most fashion forward?
Yes. I am not a big fashionista. I put on a pair of t-shirt and jeans and slippers. And
you do wear it well.
That's it. I don't fuss. But then Craig said, love, you have to do this, you have to do that.
You have to make sure it match.
Coordinating.
Yeah, because we're representing each other on the road.
That's true.
You can't wear your flip-flops when you're here or whatever. We say that we don't care about what people say. But deep down, we kind of, this person's over corner and say, oh, Carlene husband.
Put himself together.
Look so. She couldn't put on this. There are people who talk like that.
That is true. That is true.
Man, that's true word.
So who is most likely to initiate?
Me, so.
Girl, you make me look bad.
Carlene, you just spend so much time with please.
Oh boy.
I need to spend so much time with
I'm tired of it.
Especially when I'm in that zone.
Yes.
That's good for I think
one of the things he always says, he breaks me back. In the beginning, it's
always.
I am always initiating.
So, and because of that now, I take the opportunity that anytime he's not initiating, I feel like, alright, girls. It becomes a habit. But when he murmurs, I find myself that, Chuck, I think I'm murmuring. So I wake up to it. But it's a good thing because most of the time, I find out that I'm really tired because even the work that I do, like in the night, even when he's dozing and getting his rest, I'm pushing and burning light.
Yeah.
So I know that he's a person that wants his thing. So if he's there exploring, I would be like,
and then me wake up and realize the beside me and say,
but even though he said he wants me to initiate, he's still, you understand, which is good. So he still gets his thing. It's not like he's not getting, but he would like to say, oh, it's fun time and get. I mean, we've been there, done that, but up lately, it's like.
And I think, to be honest with you, I do like as frequent as I can. If it's 3-4 time to do it, I don't have a problem. But because I know she works from home and she has to go along with us, easily set on a bit. And I think that's the compromising thing that we're feeling as couples and just make it work.
And you can talk verbal together. When I do initiate, it's no blatant, it's no joke.
That is why Carly talk to her some more. I'd love to have those no joke times more often. So, alright, so in the same who's most likely to when the kids are up, Claire, Imani and David, when they make the sound or the call, who is most likely to react first?
To get up, to respond to them.
Whether they wake up in the middle of the night or whatever the case may be.
Well, the thing is that, so is a
You mean in the moment, in the game time?
No, not in the game.
In the game in that. Whenever.
But sometimes, like in the night, Gavin would wake up like maybe 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come in our bed to sleep. And we just get up, take him back to his bed, and that's it.
And
But
that's
they
it.
don't get up.
Excellent.
That's good.
They don't get up at night. They don't even get up for water or anything.
Ah, that's
Excellent.
good.
Excellent.
Next question. Alright, so we know you both have lost a parent and so forth. But before we ask you, I want to ask you how that impacted your union and psychologically how have you dealt with it. But before that, Carlene, you mentioned that you went home to this dawn. What was the situation, the living situation at the time? Because you live in Jamaica. Was this dawn a relative? What was it?
No, I met her through another Guyanese. Another Guyanese who used to live next door to us. And when I met her, she needed help. She needed somebody to help her out. So that's how I started going by her and helping her out. But then as I'm there, we started growing closer and closer. So now I refer to her as my adopted mother. Because
There's no
she has
better
always been there. She has been the children's life.
Hi, Miss Dawn. Can we know you watch us? Hi, Miss Dawn.
To take our children as her grandchildren.
Excellent. And so Craig, speaking of adoption, we know you speak of your mom and dad, but we also know, and if you don't mind saying it with us, it's saying that you yourself went through an adoption.
Yeah.
Or you were
I was adopted at 3 months old from Maxfield Boys Home, I think.
Children's home.
Yeah. Okay. Maxfield Children's Home. So I don't have any information about your biological parents at all. So I just know these two people to be my parents. And I always said to myself that life could have taken such a big turn. I don't know who my people were. I could be the result of rape, young members, and I could have been a whole different person.
Right.
You know, so it was growing up was alright. So I found out by accident. So my sister and I had an argument.
How many siblings you have?
Two.
Right.
One died, but have two.
My sister and I had a disagreement about something. As a child, she was I think 16 at the time, or something like that, and she bust the beans.
Yes.
Yeah. So my mother and father had a meeting with me, told me everything, and so I said okay. But then after that day, I had an identity crisis for at least 10 years or 10 or 12 years, because you ask yourself, who was your mother? Why did they do this? Where, what, who, all of those questions. So I would look at people all the time, and just mother, father, children, and I could always see the similarities between them.
Right.
So
like your children now. Kind of just stamped out.
Like your children.
I don't know that's a subconscious quote unquote manifestation.
Right.
Because from I was a little boy, from I was 12, 13, I dreamt about my children, about them, a boy and a girl. I said I wanted them to look like me. I want my daughter to be beautiful. I want my son to be a good looking boy.
Yes.
They do.
And
had millions before we got married too, you know.
Yeah. So
Excellent.
it is.
But what was it then that helped you over that hurdle? Because there may be persons who are watching and of course who probably have been in a similar situation, and there may be persons who are thinking of adopting. So how do you overcome that hurdle? What you say that I didn't press what
Get over that. So you could say that, I don't know, I guess there was a point where in my life where I just kind of
accepted.
I just accepted it and just got older, more mature. Just say, you know,
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But I still would like to know who they are, of course. But the identity crisis is no longer there. Worse when I have
Yes. Your own.
because I wanted to what I wanted to do was start my own line.
Yes.
I wanted to start my own line.
And you see, guys, I'm not lying to you. And we're going back to the second part of the question. But these are the thing that I believe that God has His hands upon people's lives, and He guided your life great because, as I say, it could have been otherwise, and you got two wonderful parents and who grew you up well.
And that's what I wanted to stamp. I'm cutting you.
Go ahead, man.
That's what I wanted to stamp. Having the privilege of knowing your parents and your family. The little that I do know, what I've observed is the love that they showed you and how they cared for you. Because had you not told us that you were, I would have never known. Because before I knew this, you and your mom, you share the same skin tone. But your dad, he's high in color, lighter skin. But because you fit so well and the love and the opportunities that you were given, I would not have known. You understand? But yet, I understand why they were even trying to protect you by not telling. After maybe that was the plan of receiving you at such a tender age that you would not know the difference. But you know, as children, things will happen. And again, I also believe that maybe God have let you know it for a reason and found it out then, because I believe you had to go through your own little personal process for whatever that husband and go through your little thing to that confidence, knowing who you are, everything, because it was really never any fault of your parents.
I just want to stamp that.
And the thing is, they didn't treat him any different from the other two. What the other two got, he got. You know, if the father disciplined the other two, he got it too. So all the opportunities, he got all of the opportunities. They loved him just the same. You on the outside looking in, you would never know. You would never know unless he opens his mouth and say.
And they never spoiled me. Never spoiled
But
me.
he's spoiled now.
Never spoiled me.
You deserve to get spoiled after that.
So how did you guys say? So how have you dealt with the loss of a parent? Either one of you can, because you lost your.
I lost my father in the height of COVID. So that was a little hard for me because I was trying so hard to go back to Guyana during that time, but because of COVID, I couldn't. And flights weren't there and all of these little things. So now I'm just trying now to just make peace with the situation. Knowing that was it. That has gone already. So every day I try to make a little bit more peace with the fact that I couldn't go and see him for the final time. It's hard, it's not easy. Especially because and it's hard, especially because I did not get to see him on the final day. So,
and Craig, you yourself lost your dad.
That was an interesting situation, you know, because I was the rebel in the family. I was the bad one.
Well,
it's not bad. I think we go to experience
both.
more adventurous.
He's been honest in some boy.
So,
come on, I got the most beaten.
Yes.
You could call it I got the most attention.
That's
you know what I mean?
To put it.
So I got the most beaten, the most scolding, the most prayer, the most bawling, everything. I got it all. So, but now with my father, he and I wouldn't butt heads directly.
Yeah.
I was rebellious.
Yeah.
So I wasn't that kind of argumentative kind of person with him.
Right.
Because I was afraid of him. I won't tell the lie. I was afraid of him.
Yes.
He was a bad boy, you know. So and when a little bit before we got married, so in 2008 when my father started his own business, we started getting a little closer. And then when we got married, we got a little closer again.
Right.
And then I realized how similar we were. How similar we were, you know.
Maybe that's where you guys butted.
That could have been it. And then when Imani was born, that made it even more because.
Excellent.
So, as I say, he's an insurance man. He knows human nature to the T. To the T.
Right.
So he know who to keep in which category, who to keep on what level.
Smart man.
So when Imani come now, I got a call on my voicemail that time, and he said, "Craig, yo, give me an update." Just those few little lines.
Yes.
He has never spoken to me like that. Never spoken to me like that.
Excellent.
So those lines
Yes.
made me feel like, all right, no, you earn your stripes, no, you earn your respect.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and
So you leaving now later and giving home.
It was madness. It was crazy. It was one of the roughest times.
Because I feel like under the tray you probably took it the worst or you
No, my sister took it the worst.
Okay.
But I took it hard because is after he left that I actually needed guidance in a lot of things. And it would just be good to be able to call him and he was a biblical teacher, not a pastor, teacher. And it was so, I wouldn't say bad, it was so intense that I had a recording of him and I would listen to it every night.
Wow.
Just to hear his voice. I would call his phone.
Yes.
Just to hear his voicemail.
Yes.
Just to hear his voice.
There's just no easy way.
So do you tell Imani would remember when she was remember?
She was one when we died.
Okay. All right.
But I mean, the question I want to ask, but you do talk about him with her and show pictures, so she grew with that beautiful.
Because
That's really there.
See his pictures and say, oh, that's granddad. You know?
That's beautiful.
I'm trying to remember. Did you guys take a trip together?
Yes.
Right. So what was the first experience like being in Guyana?
Oh, that was my first. That was my second time.
It was the second time. Okay.
Not together, but so going there.
Because you met the mom.
Yeah.
I met the mom. She came
She came to the wedding. Oh, the reason why he was at work, you weren't able to come to the wedding.
Okay.
Just me and Jordan and Michael, you were.
But the mom and her mom was good, you know, very welcoming man. Yeah, nice person, a great cook.
Ends.
You know,
So you had some Guyanese food.
Guyanese food.
Is it much different from Jamaica?
Spice wise especially.
Yeah, pepper pot and
Spice wise, and a lot of different variations.
Okay.
So going to Guyana was good. Met her sisters, two of her sisters. I already met one already.
that came here.
Two. No, two. I only met one, because two came to Jamaica. Rose Marligan came later.
When we went to Guyana for the first time as a family, Imani was just one.
Oh yeah.
None of them came to Jamaica at that time.
Not you, Rose?
Yeah.
No.
It was just the mom.
It was a mom. Remember, the mom alone came.
Mommy alone came when after I got Imani. And then when Imani hit age 1 now, then we decided to go to Guyana.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I met the eldest.
I'm the eldest.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay because actually she's the eldest, but she looks like the youngest. So I get it.
The second one after her is very, she kind of abrasive. Yeah. So I guess she look a little more mature. Okay. Met her cousins. Yeah. Extended family, her grandfather.
Yeah, that's nice.
Got to meet him. and I can't sleep without the fan.
Oh.
So that was rough.
That was rough.
Oh, you're living near the sea over there.
Yes, because where we live in Ghana, there's a creek. You would call it a river. But it's a creek. Yeah.
Yeah, so mosquitoes.
The mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Like a Dover raceway.
Yeah, because
so it was interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was interesting.
Okay.
But it's not the first time he went to Guyana because his mother used to do business in Guyana.
Yeah.
So he used to go with her to Guyana long before
when
we met.
See the connection.
It's where I end up with the connection. Being a friend, the thing. Remember when it started to connect to it turned out that Miss Dawn somewhat crossed paths with your in-laws. I think was it the lawyer or the doctors? They were sharing like similar. I don't know if it have to come within the church. Like in getting to know you, period. Like the transition wasn't so difficult because the church that you were going to,
which is Mona
Baptist, and then Craig they were going to one
Covenant City Church.
Yeah. But there was some. I don't know if they were sharing like similar doctors.
Basically, her now husband used to work with a family friend of mine.
There was some.
Yes.
So it's like,
I think so, yes.
Yeah, man. So there was some connection. Was like, oh, you're talking Carlene.
Yes, and everybody, because of that, everybody just kind of
connect. So the point I'm trying to make is like, you come all the way from Ghana. You have been in Jamaica for a while.
Yeah, long before I met Craig.
Long before you met Craig. But how I look at it, you being in that bus park and Craig being, it's like God just have a point in time. It's for people to meet their right someone, and then you realize, but she wasn't that far rich because guess what? Your parents couldn't connect with her line. It's like a puzzle. God is just awesome.
Not only that, I was at Mona Baptist for all the years.
Yes.
His father was also a paramedic.
That's what I wanted to remember.
While I'm at Mona Baptist, this man is there.
Crossing paths.
I never knew.
Yes.
Mona Baptist operated a clinic at that time.
Right.
And he was one of the persons in the clinic.
Yeah.
So I'm there and I'm hearing this name and my class is saying, Tony says, oh, Tony Williamson. Then everything just kind of unfolds.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. I remember that. I don't know, like the mind.
That's so much in chat here.
I'll tell them to take it over before we go.
Alright, so we have a few more questions before we go. And this one is a little tricky, but you answered. If you could change anything about your spouse, what would that thing be? If you have anything at all.
Maybe nothing.
Change. Change.
And I mean, if there's nothing, there's nothing.
I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything.
At first, this was when we first started dating, because I'm an outgoing person. I like to go out every now and then. She's a homey person.
Yes.
At one point, I wanted to I wish she was more that kind of person. Which is ironically similar to the kind of chick that I was.
Similar. Yeah, because it took a time to.
But then, guess what? I said to myself, you know what? This is for the best, because who will raise the children while I'm at work? Who will, Yeah.
Monitor.
Yeah.
So everything I'm for a reason.
For a reason. It's true.
Do you enjoy being married?
We enjoy.
That's what we're single and so making the comparison.
It's always good.
It's always good to come home to somebody, and for me, especially being a man, having something to live for other than yourself.
Fully accountable.
Yeah, it's good, because maybe if I wasn't married, I'd just be a paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah,
just living
the life.
Just existing.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so you both are Christians.
You don't want Carlene.
Oh, sorry.
I enjoy being married. For some, I remember sharing with a friend some time ago when I was at Mona Baptist that I don't want to be like some of the women who end up living by themselves on their own. with
that was my fear
I
to
did
girl.
not want to be like that, and
Yes.
one day I just find myself saying to God, Lord, I don't want to spend my life alone.
Yeah.
And when Craig and I found each other, I said, oh Lord, this is it. This is it. Thank you, Lord.
Trust me. Not to interject. A lot of women, especially in this time, day and age, modern day women, a lot of them are sold the idea that it's all about the career, that it's all about the money, that's all about
what they have.
Tangible. But men and women are different for a reason.
Yeah.
Instinctively, women want connection with children, family, leaving something behind. Instinctively. That's why
true.
When the time got ding, 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 and a lot of these young women who get all of the attention growing up realize that, okay, you need to find the best man now.
Right.
But after that, you're done.
Yes.
Done everything.
Not so special.
And there's always a price to pay. You want to be successful in your career, there's a price to pay.
Yeah, it's true.
You can't have both.
That's true.
You know?
So
that's so true.
So the next question I want to answer, Craig, you both are Christians. You're a musician. Carlene, you sing?
In the shower, oh. In the shower, oh. That's about it. When I was at Mother Baptist, I used to be on the praise team, but at Craig Church.
There's a high level of ministry.
I sing in the choir.
So how many instruments do you play? Because there's another question after that.
And the voice.
And he's, because we know, Craig, you can sing. You don't sing, you sing.
I can play the piano.
Yes.
I can play the drums, recorder. Play the guitar. A little bit of guitar. Yeah.
And you had a single, right?
Yeah, I have a single. It's called,
I played that song so many times.
It's called Just Me.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Excellent. Great. So what was it that brought your love for music, though?
Well, alright. So my sister, when she was going to high school, she used to go to Wilmot's Girls. So I saw her coming to her room after school, and she used to always listen to Tracy Chapman.
Beautiful singer.
And the album with Fast Car, I don't remember what the name of the album was. And she used to play it every day. I used to listen, and I used to practice reproducing sounds, just mimicking sounds in nature. And then in 96, 97, I heard Brian McKnight for the first time. And that just
blew my mind. And guys, if you hear Chris singing, him sing like Brian McKnight. And he do a good rendition.
No, it's really no joke. I don't know if you want to even tell them about the single now, or so. I don't know if you have it to be purchased.
it's not out there just yet. But it's a song that wrote with a friend of mine, great producer. His name is Richard Spencer. He's out in Mandeville. Great musician, one of Jamaica's best. And it took a while to record it, and I just need to put it out there. I've been doing more of a laid back kind of thing, being married now. Not to really go and perform, but more writing and musical arrangement.
Timing.
Trust me, your musical talent is up there.
So the next I want to ask you though is, how has your faith, your Christian faith, impacted your relationship?
Wow. Good one. I'm not perfect, I'm trying,
Nobody is.
Right.
We're all working to get there.
But it was actually faith that brought me to Carlene in the first place.
Yeah.
Because believing that there's something better than this endless cycle of going nowhere.
Yes.
When the Bible talks about a virtuous woman.
Yes.
So
how has your faith impacted your relationship?
Well, that has impacted it a lot, because anything that I think that I can't do, I get a little encouragement from Craig.
Yeah.
And with the encouragement and with trusting God, I say, okay, if Craig can encourage me to do this, then I must can do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, like for instance, we may need something, and I'll be there and I'm worried, love, how are we going to do this? How is this going to work? And you say, love, don't worry. The Lord will work it out for us.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Sometimes I can't see it, but you know, I just have to go with his
You trust
encouragement.
him. Yeah.
And then when it work out, you say, you have this famous thing you usually say, see, you get all worked up for me. Wasted energy.
What is it I tell you? No, I said it always works.
Yes, that's what Craig says too.
That's true. It helps you to trust even when you don't see it because you see the result. Yeah. You let you trust when they say it. Even if you know you feel a little tense, well, I'm gonna trust you know and whatever. So it does help.
Yeah. So because of that, my faith is going little by little each day.
So if you could say one thing that rub off on you, I want rub off on you from Craig, yeah.
Well, so what rub off on me from Craig is his encouragement to me to do anything that I say I want to do. He will say, love, just work at it and you will do it. So that's for me, because when I started driving, because Craig first started to teach me how to drive, and people would say, don't ever let your spouse teach you to drive. And I'm saying, no, Craig is not like that. He's one of the most patient person driving.
Yes.
Even though he used to get on my nerves sometimes. But one day, we were living in Havendale and I had to go and get him at work in the night. And I had to go on Constant Spring Road. And I don't like the parking lot of that place. And I'm there fussing and frustrated trying to back out of this yard. And Craig said, love, just come out of the car, look and see where the car is, and then you turn the steering wheel and you take your time and come out. And I'm there fussing, and Imani saying to me, Mommy, just take your time. And when I backed out of that yard in the night, I called Craig with this great excitement. You know, so, and I'm saying, I did it. So, you know, for me, Craig, for me, is one of my biggest motivations to do anything.
Excellent.
Do anything.
What is it that has rubbed
off on her from me? From her to me. Well, a lot has been going on in terms of you know, in terms of like grocery shopping and all that stuff, and cost of living has really gone up. It has been going up for quite a while. So I've become I've grown a green thumb. So I'm into the farming every now and then, not as much as I used to. But you know, into the farming. She introduced me to Chopped. Is that cooking program? Right. So before that, I was a basic cook. Cook.
Well, you had a helper, you didn't.
Yeah, exactly. and there's this Chinese girl that was living with us, especially in the early 90s. And she taught me how to make fried rice, Chinese fried rice. So I know that to the T, to the science. So you cook my fried rice, it's coming like it's Chinese person eating it. She taught me everything, but that was the only thing I could make. And then I had another friend, DJ Dixon, who taught me some little stuff. But then now with Carlene, going into a chapter and all that, I see how people do things in terms of how they use different herbs and spices. So I start getting into herbs, not that herb. That is the herbs and mixing that up with the food, and it just take your food from 0 to 100.
So I plant the herbs.
Exactly.
Not that herbs.
Alright, so the last question I want to ask you though. So it's 9 years and counting.
It's 8 years going. This year going 9.
What's the date? You have your anniversary?
It's June 28th.
Excellent. So, if you were to give advice to singles, what advice you would give to them? I mean, thinking of getting married. What advice you would give them?
What I would say as a single person is, just get to know yourself. Love on yourself. Achieve whatever you want to achieve. Leave room for God to be in your life, because singleness is not a death sentence. You know, so while you're single, use the time to just grow, be mature, see what you want, talk to God, you know, build a relationship with God, and then everything else will fall into place. Don't look at a married couple and say, oh, I want that, and because you see them all together, you get up and go and rush to do the same thing. Because
see me and come live with me.
It's two different things.
Beautiful advice.
You know, and what that couple over there have, they work hard to get there. You know, and you may not want to put in the work to get there.
Come on now.
So if it is that you want that, work on yourself first before you go into that.
Definitely, because you have to be. You have, especially young people talking now that is a 50-50. No, it's not 50-50. No. It's 100-100.
Yeah.
You have to be
all in,
secure in yourself. Especially secure in yourself. You have to be a receptive person. You can't be a weak person in terms of buckling on constructive criticism. You have to be a relatively strong individual, and it takes work.
It's work. So true.
And don't get married for the event. The event will pass. The event will pass.
The
butterflies will go. Fly away. Unless you don't see the person for like 5 years.
Yes. And you need to grow out of the butterflies.
Exactly. Right. True. And at the same time, you want sometimes you want a little distance in a sense.
Yes.
You know, because if you're always there only
take for granted.
Exactly. You take certain things for granted, they're always there. You know, a lot of things that I see going on with these young people nowadays, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's fleeting. We have so many friends who got married and look at pressure reach the pipe and then just make it bust.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't think about duty anymore.
Right.
Looking beyond just yourself.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we can't express enough our appreciation for you guys to one, being friends of ours, but more taking the opportunity to share your life story and to be so open and honestly praying and hoping that those who are watching will glean something from it and be encouraged and be strengthened. And even those who are single, they can feel like, they've been through, let me take my journey, you understand me? But you have the last word though. First of all, I want to, of course, tell them to like, share, and subscribe.
Oh yeah, you
got to tell them about
hit the bell, smash the like sign.
Yes.
Get notified for new videos coming through, and basically, just look for what you need in a relationship. What you need. It's just like when you budget your money. Look for what you need. You spend on what you need, not just what you want. Because spending on what you want will get you broke. Right. But spending on what you need going to make you reserve and save someone a good amount that you can say, this is the result.
I write back panel for it.
Yeah, that's true.
Anything?
Alright guys,
so again, your last sentiments.
So what would be your last words, Dick?
Echo
the same thing. Excellent.
So again, guys, we want to thank you for watching. Thank you for being a family member and as a subscriber. For being a family member, we really appreciate you. And so until next upload, until next live, reminding you guys that you can send me your 10 to 15 second video where you're encouraging others to be a subscriber to the channel, and who knows, we're going to put your video in our video when you send your 10 to 15 seconds video. Alright, so again we want to say thank you for watching. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Carlene, for coming. We appreciate it.
And we love you guys.
Always. So until next live, until next upload, we're saying God bless. See you on the other side.
See you soon.
Blessings.